Like a lot of people use social media for various reasons. My guilty pleasure, I would say, is the Facebook Marketplace where people can buy and sell stuff easily.
Yeah.
So the story for on Facebook Marketplaces, I bought my Rivian truck from Marketplace.
This is On Call.
This would be really cool to just wear scrubs all the time. Then you don't have to think about what you're going to wear to work.
Joke is awesome. We're here to answer your questions. We can sit down and discuss them. Wait, I gotta go. I'm on call.
Wait, you're on call? I thought I was on call. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of On Call with April and Alicia. I'm Alicia.
I'm April.
I'm Mihir.
Hey.
We have a guest.
Hi, Mihir. Welcome to the On Call room.
Thank you for having
Welcome
me.
back.
This is my first on-call podcast, and I'm super excited and nervous that what questions you guys are going to ask.
It won't be
not
so
allowed to be
scary.
nervous.
Yeah.
I say
don't
welcome
worry.
back to the On Call room in the clinical sense.
Yeah.
Because it's
There you
probably
go.
been some time because Mihir is our CEO. But April, why don't you do the intro?
Yeah, so Dr. Mihir Patel is our CEO of hospital medicine here at Sound. So Mihir, we're excited to have you. And don't be scared. It'll be painless, hopefully, for you.
Yes, most people make it out alive, Mihir.
Yes.
There you go. Yeah.
Yes, well, it's been a while, April, since we've recorded. There's been lots of things going on in life, and we'll talk about those one day. But can I tell you the most exciting thing for me?
Let's hear it.
It's hurricane season.
Oh, you are like the
June
only
1st.
person in the world that is probably excited about that.
I was
You do
talking
realize.
to what was it? One of our recruiters. I was at ASAP yesterday, and she's like, "Oh, I fell asleep watching the Weather Channel last night," and I was like, "Oh my gosh, you've got to listen to her podcast. I think it's a weather podcast, and all I do is talk about the weather." I was like, "Do you like it too?" And she goes, "Yes." And I was like, "Fun fact: June 1st is hurricane season." She was like, "Okay, I don't like it that much." And I was like, "Okay." Well, I was kind of laughing. I was like, April will love to know this. And Mihir, I know you're in Texas, Dallas, right?
That is correct. Yeah.
Do you guys get a lot of hurricane? I know Houston gets hit. Does it come in for you?
No, it's we are pretty inland, but we do get pretty crazy weather with tornadoes.
Oh,
So we
yeah.
are now. I think I heard yesterday somebody's telling like the whole tornado alley is now moving, and it would be more Dallas is in the way.
Oh.
So we get a lot of issued watch
Yeah.
and crazy weathers. Yeah.
Oh, I don't celebrate the disaster of it. I think I'm just incredibly fascinated by weather. And Mihir, like on nights I can't sleep, I just sit and watch the Weather Channel as hurricanes develop. So April gets tired of hearing me talk about that.
She was like, "Did you ever see that movie Twisters? The people who chase the storms? That's like going to be Alicia one
That's
day."
what I
That
wanted
is
to be when I
Alicia,
grew
yeah.
up. Yeah,
Yeah.
I should have. No, I'm not that much of a thrill seeker. I like to do it from a safe space. So,
Right.
well, we got an action-packed episode today. So I do want to jump in. Mihir's got a lot to share, and we'll talk about why we invited him today. But I did want to ask Mihir a question. We were talking before we got on, and I asked him to save a story because we're talking about social media. And he was talking about Facebook Marketplace, which is completely unfamiliar to me. So tell me, Mihir, first about what is Facebook Marketplace, and tell me what you bought.
Yeah, for sure. I think as I was sharing with you, like a lot of people use social media for various reasons. My guilty pleasure, I would say, is the Facebook Marketplace where people can buy and sell stuff easily. And it's almost a Google search engine within Facebook. You can find anything. So I'm crazy about cars. I love electric cars. So the story for on Facebook Marketplaces, I bought my Rivian truck from Marketplace. I
Crazy.
found somebody. I met with the completely stranger guy.
Were they local to
survived.
you?
And I survived, and I got the truck. Yeah, I didn't got scammed. But be careful if you do that. But it is amazing to see like what people buy and sell on Marketplace. So if you didn't see it, check it out. Yeah,
Are they good deals?
very good deals.
Yeah, I
if
think
you're-
usually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
April,
if
you know
you
about
know
this
what you're
too?
looking for.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised that you don't know about this because you are way more social media than I am. But yes, I know, like, I know people, like friends, family that sell things on there, and I'll peruse it every now and then. Like, I have two kids that are going to have driver's license here in a couple years, and I'm like, I could get like a pretty cheap car that, I don't care if it gets like a few dings in it,
Yeah.
like,
Well, I
for the
bought my
kids.
first car off of eBay, so I guess it's the same
The
thing.
same thing.
It's the same
just
thing,
the newest
yeah.
thing.
Yeah, but it was at a dealer, but that's where they were listing it. But I don't know about it because I'm not on Facebook. Otherwise, I'm pretty sure
Oh,
I'd know something. But that's crazy. I might make that a let's break the ice question. Okay, I'm gonna hold that next thought.
All right.
Here, we do before we get into the episode. We always do with our guest a let's break the ice round just to kind of warm up. And April and I just rapid fire some questions at you. So first thing that comes to mind is how you answer. Are you ready to play, Mihir?
Yep, let's do
All
it.
right. April, you want to start?
Sure. Well, in true April fashion, I'm going to stick with a food-related thing for my
course.
first question. So we're coming up on hot weather, especially in Texas. So Mihir, what is your favorite like cold summer treat after you've been out in the heat all day? Like, what is it that you want to have at the end of that day to cool you down?
And I was going to say beer, but I quit
That's
drinking.
cold.
You can say that. Oh, you quit.
So right now it's the usually what we do is a fruit salad. So any
Okay.
fruits, like especially mango, it's my
Mm.
favorite fruit. So I would probably have my wife or somebody help cut it for me, and then you can eat it.
I was
Nice.
just going to ask
I
you,
don't
can you
make
cut a
any
mango?
attempt to go to kitchen, by the way. That's how food lovers I am. Yeah.
So you can't cut a mango. I can't figure out how to cut a mango. I watch YouTube videos all the time to figure
We
out how
actually
to do
bought a
it.
mango in our Southwest road trip last year when we were in I think it was Santa Cruz. We were on the beach and they were selling mangoes like in the cart. And so we bought mangoes, but they were already cut, so we didn't have to deal with cutting them on the beach. But it was fun to have them on the beach.
Fruit salad sounds amazing right now. Okay, my question for you, Mihir, is if you could swap jobs with anyone, anywhere around the world, fictional or real, who would it be? Just for a day.
Just for a day, I would probably go work at a tech company. So
Any tech
maybe
company?
Microsoft.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
I
So
didn't know
probably
you were a
swap a
tech
job
guy.
with Satya Nadella, maybe. Yeah, go and work in Microsoft. Yeah.
Okay. all right.
Interesting. All right.
So I know you both got the different reaction, but I'm a really
I was going to ask,
grew
are you a
up
tech
with a
guy?
tech background, and always the fun story was always wanting to be an engineer.
Okay.
So I'm a physician in engineer's body kind of situation where I had a choice that I can took a path to go towards medicine or medical services or go towards engineering. And at that time, we chose medical field, but my brain was always fixated on engineering. So that's why the
Wow.
tech thing comes out. Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting.
All right.
So I'm like
never knew that
your
about you.
local IT support. Anytime we do Microsoft Teams meetings, when people can't figure out how to share screen, I'm there to help you.
Well,
Were
now I
you
know
the
who
guy
to
that
call
wore
when I
the-
have a tech issue. I'll
There
just
you
Were
go.
you the guy that wore the construction vest for Epic rollouts when you were working clinically?
Maybe.
I figured that's normally the tech guys of the group that or women of the group that do that. So that's funny.
Did people ever offer to pay you to like write their notes for them? We used to have physicians all the time
Yeah.
who saw me typing and were like, April, can I pay you to write my notes? And I'm like, no.
I think like they asked me like, so the weirdest thing they asked me recently is somebody asked me about how do you fix your home Wi-Fi, and I was able to help them through
Oh.
kind of like navigating through and changing some of their settings on the Wi-Fi, and they offer me to pay, and I'm like, no, sorry, man. I'm just helping you. The knowledge I gathered over the years, how to fix somebody's Wi-Fi.
Interesting. All right. Well, now we know who to call for help.
Well, everybody, Mahir's number is just kidding. we won't.
It's still IT help desk at Sound Physician.
1-800
no official
help
job
desk.
for you here, huh?
All right. And just
All right.
hit 1 for Mihir. Okay.
All right, Mihir. My next question is if you could go on vacation anywhere in the world, where would you go and why?
Costa Rica. I think
Okay.
we've been twice so far in Costa Rica. and it kind of gives you the vibe of like very relaxed sandy beach, but at the same time you can do a lot of crazy adventures
Yeah.
of doing the trails, walking around. People are very nice and laid back, and food is amazing. Um, and something you can learn how to cut or do is coconuts. So I learned
Okay.
that over there. That's it. That's the only thing I know how to probably. But I think that would be one destination I would, if I had to retire or go one more time, I would go there.
Okay.
You went to Ibiza, didn't you? I
Yes, I
think I
did.
heard that.
Yeah,
Yes. How was that?
that was pretty wild. So
Yeah.
that's not a retirement plan. It's
No,
just a
no, I
one-time
was
thing.
I
Yeah.
was like I heard that. I was like, I don't think I've ever met somebody that's gone to Ibiza. So I was just curious how that was.
Yeah, so the spectrum of talking about Ibiza, my spectrum on the music is goes from anywhere from Coldplay to
Yes.
go all the way to Armin van Buuren for
Okay.
techno and trance
Yeah.
music. So I'm a crazy fan for Armin, and that's why I went there to
Okay.
Ibiza because he was performing live
Oh,
in that particular.
nice.
Yeah.
I love Coldplay. I'm that's probably my number one favorite group, or even just Chris Martin as an artist in general. So I'm with you
So,
there. And those concerts are amazing.
yep.
All right. I'm learning more and more. Geez, here. Okay, let's do this one. What's one thing that people get wrong about you?
Oh, so yeah, I can tell you like um, a lot of the people think that I'm born and brought up here in U.S. They think like you grew up here and you went to med school here.
Hmm.
But in reality, I went to med school in India. I was 26-year old when I came to US.
Oh,
But
wow.
most of the
I
people
didn't
get
know
that
that.
wrong that,
Yeah.
oh, you grew up here somewhere, either in Cali or Texas. That's how people think about
Oh,
Interesting. I
well,
did not
we
know
all
that
learned
about
something
you.
new. All right.
Oh,
me.
look at that.
Well, thank you for that.
All right. Well, yeah, thank you for that. And so the reason that we asked Mihir to be our guest today is because June is Men's Health Month. And so we wanted to bring Mihir on to talk a little bit about, as from a physician's perspective, preventative medicine and men and how important that is, but also you being a leader, we wanted to talk with you a little bit about work-life balance from the perspective of a
Right.
male leader in our organization. So Mahir, if you want to start out, if you could just tell us a little bit about your background and your story, you can tell us as much or as little as you want about your history.
Oh, for sure. I think I just started on that particular history. So I grew up in India, did my math school, came to US. I paid my dues in Northeast, where I went to Connecticut to do my residency. And sound was my first job as a hospitalist. And I'm still with sound after 12 years later. And that tells you the story about how very successful venture we have with sound. And as you raise your hand, there are like a lot of leaders and mentors in sound has helped me grow into this role. And you raise your hand, you get more responsibility at sound. And I think that is true for any successful organization to grow from within.
Yeah.
And all of us on the call have all grown at one or other time from a different role to a different role and do more. So I'm very fortunate to be here and with sound. My alternative, if you ask me before, or it's a real story on when at the junction of when I was finishing my residency before I took the role with hospitalist at Sound, was I'm going to go and do a GI fellowship. So
No.
I was chosen to be chief resident, was going to do GI fellowship in one of the Yale campus in Connecticut. And I had a moment where I thought I can't see myself being GI physician doing colonoscopy every day.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I had that moment of realization that I probably want to do something else. And then I saw sound advertisement took a leap of faith, and I wanted to move to warmer weather. So I moved to Louisiana and took my first role with sound as a hospitalist, and rest is the history.
All right.
Well, then you did some leadership stuff after that. Your first role of sound. Then you moved to CMO, right? Don't
I
dip
think
us, Mihir. We
I
got
know,
a
sorry.
CEO on the line here.
No, absolutely. I think I told somebody that I have played every single role as a clinical leader can play at Sound,
Yep.
including kind of like the RMD role, CMO, associate CMO. I did the stint with value-based care as a transitional market medical director before. So I have the lot of that experience built in, and now the CEO of hospital medicine. Now there's a one more role to play. I told John, it's give me a little bit more time before we got to the new role. But
All
it's
right.
just a fun
I
story.
just wanted to highlight that because I think that's impressive to see somebody, make that move through an organization. And we had Tiffany on as well. And she made similar moves for the org. And I just think it's inspiring. So that's the only reason I was pushing you there. I want to ask you a question. I saw some data recently that I guess with respects to preventive care that women, I think there's like 76 out of 100 women do their yearly visit with their docs versus 45 out of 100 men. So it looks like men aren't really great at seeing the doctor. When was your last checkup, Mihir? Be honest.
Last checkup was November because I got the questions before. So I figured out like when was the last checkup. If you ask me, it was probably 6 months ago. So the fun story behind that, and you stated the statistics right, and I think there is a correlation. I'm pretty sure that 70% of the women are pushing their husbands to go seek man health care, right?
I think that's
And
true.
that is very true in my case because my primary care for my wife and I he's the same person. So every time she visits, he reminds her to make sure that I make an appointment and show up on time. So that's why I go on time. Otherwise, you're right. A lot of the men's, I think and there are a variety of reasons. I think the number one reason being just lack of time or lack of priority, and the mindset that I feel fine,
Yeah.
and that I feel fine is what drives a lot of the men's away from the doctors, as well as it's just like that's not something I need to do right now. That is something I would need to do when I'm older.
Yes.
Yeah.
And in our head, the older is something more like 60s,
Not
not in
40s,
30s
not
or
30s, not
40s.
40s.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Well, it's funny that you say that too about your wife because my husband and I, our annual visits are like due at the same time. So I just schedule his when I schedule mine. Like, this is
There you
when you're
go.
going, So he doesn't have a choice. So
I think I have more of a man mindset where I'm like, I think
you
I'm
don't
fine.
go?
Yes, I do, but I'm not in that 75 that does it every year.
I've just
So,
seen too many young asymptomatic people come into the hospital with very abnormal labs that they had no idea about. So I'm
thanks,
like
April.
very anal about going every year. So you should go,
Thanks.
Alicia.
Yeah,
Thanks.
you should go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I am. I do. Don't get me wrong. I don't not go. I don't think I do my mammogram every year, but well, second year, but yes, I'm
Yep.
not as good. And sometimes I wonder if it's because it's more of avoidant. I need to look at myself there a little bit too. I feel fine here when you said that I connected to that. I do feel fine, but I know better. So
Yeah. Well, I think there's also too that their avoidance is real. Like, oh, well, I don't want to know something's wrong. So if I don't go, I just won't know,
Yep.
as well.
Maybe as I get older, I get more worried. So
Yeah.
who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's not like we are. This is an analogy may reflect. I think like most of the men think about like your health as your car. In
Yeah.
your car, there's no engine light on. Everything is
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
But the funny thing is, for our health, there is no engine light comes on, and there are a lot of silent diseases and other things that can perpetuate to the point where you wouldn't know until you're kind of pretty end stage or pretty severe
Right.
symptoms.
Yeah.
So any of the symptoms when you get for any health diseases are sometimes it's too late
Yeah.
because you waited too long.
Yep.
Yep. Well, this
Well,
is a downer for me today. So
I know,
thanks,
right?
guys.
I'm
Just
putting the
kidding.
pressure on you, Alicia.
I know. I'll be there. I go. Don't get me wrong, but just
All right. Well, Mihir, so in that spirit, so what is the one screening test that you think every man over 40 should make non-negotiable? Like they have to get it done regularly.
Yeah, I think like there are many evidence-based literature out there for like diabetic screening, high blood pressure screening,
Mhm.
etc. I think the one prevalent thing is what I have found out in a lot of my similar age friends they're going through is sleep apnea.
Oh.
As our kind of like overall work style is becoming a little bit more sedentary, like virtual
Yeah.
platform, working from home, and a high stress job, right? So
Yeah.
you're traveling, you're not eating right, and you're gaining weight, and then suddenly, boom, you don't know, and you have this silent sleep apnea where people miss or forget, and then that perpetuates to the point where now you have kind of like obesity related or sleep apnea related high blood pressure, atrial fibrillations, and all other
Mm.
Pandora's
Mhm.
box opens up. It is not widely talked about. So when you go to your
Yeah.
primary care, they don't talk about sleep apnea, etc., or how do you sleep. They talk about everything else. They talk about your blood pressure. They talk about what you eat, if do you exercise or not. But that's not something comes on. So if you're
Mhm.
going to meet with your primary care this year, I think the recommendation that I have, my personal recommendation would be talk about sleep apnea. Or if you are somebody who is a tech gadget heavy, use your Apple Watch or something
Mhm.
to check your sleep. Or are you snoring? Do you have apnea?
Mhm.
How's your heart rhythm while you sleep, etc. And if you see any signs, get sleep apnea study because that can prevent a lot of the downfall impacts on having high blood pressure or atrial fibrillation because that's number one cause in terms of like silent disease, which people don't realize they may have.
Sure. I don't think I expected you to come with that answer, and I even have more questions now. But let me just ask if I were a man going into my primary's office, how I know you mentioned, hey, if you see the signs or symptoms, ask for a sleep apnea study. But for the layperson who's not in medicine, how would you recommend they approach that conversation with their PCP?
Yeah, I think like if you have any sort of symptoms where you have daytime sleepiness, that you feel tired and sleepy in the morning, if your partner or spouse mentioned that heavy snoring at night and then in between pause that you stop breathing, if you have like chronic sinus related issues where you feel like congested all the time, you're a mouth breather. And the last thing I would say is anybody who has like a little bit BMI in the overweight to obese situation, those are the kind of like key red flags that you should ask your PCP. What your PCP will do, they can do like a calibrated sleep scale and
Yeah.
talk about quality of sleep. And based on the scoring, they may recommend overnight sleep study, or they may recommend something like you can wear wearable where you can track your how you're sleeping at night. So those are the things I think like you should have conversation with your PCP. I think that for completely layman person, if you're not sleeping right at night and you
Hmm.
feel groggy in the morning, or you need afternoon nap every single day, those are the signs where you're not sleeping right at night.
Yeah.
Or you, yeah. Wow, that was actually
Yeah, that's
interesting.
definitely not what I expected you to bring either, but
Not
it's
at
a good
all.
point for
I
sure.
like. I
Hey,
mean,
I'm
I
still physician, by the
curveball.
way.
I love
Yeah,
it.
Don't
look at
forget.
you throwing us curveballs all around the place. All right. Well, let's switch gears a little bit to work-life balance. So you're a CEO. So question is, do you actually unplug, or is it just something that we tell ourselves that we do and you don't actually do it?
I think the answer in my head, the work-life balance is a little bit more kind of like a misnomer.
Right.
Work is part of your life. It's always a life balance.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's not a work-life balance. And part where, like as you mentioned, like our role as a leader doesn't start at 8 or doesn't stop at 5.
Right.
So it's always on, and you have to figure out like how you balance that part where you are spending time with family or you're doing something personal stuff, from either investing time in your exercising or traveling, etc.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, it's more like life balance. Like how do you balance your life
Yeah.
with work? And do I unplug? Yes, I do. And that is mostly my unplugging. Main thing is stop checking emails after
Yeah.
a
Yep.
certain time,
Yep.
and that will help you try to kind of like relax and not worry about next day, etc. So 7 p.m. if you email me after 7 p.m. Central Time, less likely I'll respond. But that's the unplug time where I'm like, I'm done. That's
That's
the
good.
part where you have to have your life balance.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
wonder
That's
how
good.
long that taught you, like how long it was for you to teach yourself that. Because April, it just took me back to when we first started together, and I think
Yeah.
we were on the phone till 8, 9, like late, and you were the one that kind of taught me, like you gotta step away, and I just had the hardest time. I mean, here,
I
how
had to
long
tell
did
her I'm
that
not
take
talking to
you?
you anymore. Like,
Yeah, I'm like,
stop
but we got
calling me
more
after
things to
like six
finish. What
o'clock.
do you mean? Like, but when did you learn? Was that just something automatic for you, or?
No, I think that this is probably, it took me 3 4 years to figure out like what is the right balance and
Yeah,
where you have to kind of like disconnect. Because I think that the industry we are in, we take care of patients. And anything and everything we can do to support our clinician and APPs who then take care of the patient is something that we set a very high bar.
right.
And we want to make sure that we support in any case in all emergencies, etc. But I think sometimes it kind of like then it becomes routine, and it's super hard to break out of it. So it took me like roughly 3 years, give or take, to
Right.
find that balance and be like, okay, at this time I now stop email
Right.
Yeah.
because I have email 2 in the morning. So that tells you the story that I didn't learn this on day one. That we all work hard and it's all nonstop and the email don't stop coming.
And I
Yeah.
think the further you get in leadership too, I'll say, I don't know that we realize that people are watching us, people that work underneath us, or, that our colleagues, even, just our colleagues, sometimes, people ahead, above us, they're always watching what we're doing. And here, one thing with you, I remember when we started working a little more closely together last year, I remember you made a comment about PTO and how important that was for you to actually step away, and take that time. And that kind of leads me into this question of like, what's your non-negotiable outside of work? Like the thing that grounds you, no matter how busy your life gets, what is your non-negotiable?
I think if I'm not traveling and I'm home, the kids' bedtime, which is right around like 7:30, that's
Yeah.
non-negotiable. If I'm outside for dinner, I try to finish early and be back on time. So that's the time where I'm not answering anybody's phone call.
Right.
My phone is not even on me at that time. So that's the disconnect part. I think the grounding part to your question is we all at a time have to take some time off, and
Yep.
Yeah.
not as a sometime like for us it's not a full PTO that you can take like 2 weeks off at a time because there's so much work and there's so
Right.
many things dependency on you where you can be completely disconnected. So you have to check in periodically what happens, etc. But that's still a disconnect from the time. I
Mm-hmm.
think the rule I made. This is probably to your question, Alicia, around 2 years ago, where any of my team member are overseas or they're out of country, even in
Yep.
Mexico.
Yep.
And if I'm not allowing or approving their email access
Yep.
on
Yeah.
there. So that helps them truly disconnect. Otherwise, it would be you're taking the burden and baggage with you,
Yeah.
Right.
and you're bringing that baggage with you. So there's no point of like taking time off. It's like you're working from a different location. So I feel like taking time off it's very important,
Yep.
and having we all have tendency to find work.
Yeah.
I've
Well,
been
if you
known
look,
to
it's
do
always
that.
there.
Yeah, there is always more work and there's more improvement. And I think sometimes when you see a gap in your calendar, there is a guilt that
Yes.
we all carry where, oh, there is a gap in the calendar. I need to do something about it. And we quickly forget that the meetings that you go to is not finishing your work.
Not
The work
productive.
you
Yeah.
do is in
Yeah.
during the gap, is when you're
Yeah.
connecting, problem solving, etc. So if you see gaps on your calendar, that is something. Don't have tendency to fill them up with other
Right.
meetings, because otherwise you're not going to be able to complete your work in timely manner. So
Yeah.
those are some
Yep.
non-negotiable or ground rules.
All right.
Yeah, I love that.
I like it. So do you think men in leadership feel pressure to choose between like ambition and being present at home? Like, do you think that that's a challenge for them?
100%.
Yeah.
So we live in the world I call it, I don't know if this is a true terminology or nomenclature, but it's the sandwich model. So I'm a millennial, um, in
Yep.
all honesty, born in '84. So the sandwich generation is something um, where you're taking care of both dependent generation for you. So what do I mean by that is you're taking care of your elderly parents
Hmm.
and others, and they need your help, they need your support, etc., in day-to-day or month-to-month life. And then also you're taking care of your kids. The way we all were raised, our parents probably didn't pay this much attention to the grades, what we're learning, your after-school activity or your in-school activities, etc. So I truly feel like we are in that sandwich model where there is a lot of expectations from you to be Superman,
Yeah.
and
Hmm.
do everything. So provide for your family, also be present at every single events, birthday parties, etc. Be socially available to make sure that you have a friend circle, etc., and then also be available taking care of your sicker or elderly parents. So it's
Yeah.
super hard from at this generation's men's leader to be at everywhere and everything. And it does come in a way of your ambition, what you want to do versus like being present at home. But I think that's where the part of life balance comes in, where
Yeah.
Yeah.
if you set up your right ground rules, a lot of the people are able to achieve that.
Yeah. I think that's a
Yeah.
good point. I think, and too,
I
like, I mean, when we think about it, like, being a mom, I always think of the mom guilt, right? But there's also
Yes.
dad guilt, right? And I think
Yeah.
we sometimes forget that. So it's a good point.
Yeah, absolutely. I was just curious. You're giving great advice and it sounds great, but sometimes we don't always take our own advice. And we know that you do for the most part we hear, but what would your family say? What would they say if you say like I disconnect, I do these things, but would your family say if they had to describe your work life or your life
I think
balance? What would they say?
I
How would
think
they
my
describe it?
wife. I'll give you my wife's perspective that um, your second office is American Airlines Admirals Club. That's how she describes overall. And there is no way to kind of like fix a lot of those things because that's kind of like your work responsibility plus
Mm-hmm.
travel. I think what I do best and what they appreciate the most is when I'm here in town, when I'm home, you're home. So you're
Yeah.
not
Yes.
trying to kind of like do multiple things off the phone, be present, and that's
Mm-hmm.
what they appreciate the most. I think, as my 7-year-old says, when he grow up, he wants to be a doctor like mom,
Oh,
who sees the patients and he talks about like he describes my role as dad talks to the doctors and tell them what to do.
That's my
So
kids are like, Mom talks on the phone all day. That's
Yeah. My kids don't think I do anything because I'm sitting at home. So they're like, do you actually
Okay.
work? I'm like, yes, I
That's
work.
exactly right. But I think what they appreciate the most now he realized he sees my car at home and he's like, okay, so you're not traveling, but if you're traveling, when are you coming back? And
Yeah.
that's what is the part where grounds us in terms of like when you're here, you're here. You're not
Yeah.
trying to multitask.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's important for them to feel like you're present when you're there. So, all right. Well, we'll wrap it up with one last question and we'll go back to the career because we've talked a lot about the home life. So as you reflect on your career so far, what are you most proud of? Like what accomplishment gives you the most pride?
I have still far more to go, and that's just
Yeah.
the personality that I have. I think the what I'm most proud of, or most I should say like grateful
Yeah.
for is
Yeah.
the opportunity I got at the right time at
Yeah.
Sound. And
Yeah.
when I speak with my friend, they speak really highly of what I do. I don't feel that way. Obviously, I think when you're in this position, until you speak with the team member, etc., and the impact. And what I'm most proud of is the part what we were able to accomplish last year to
Yeah.
empower our clinician, empower our team, and bringing national expertise more locally
Yeah.
and giving them that autonomy and support and tools. And I think that's so far. I feel like I have accomplished something that I always that healthcare is local, and we are able to do that now at Sound.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's important for them to feel have that local. I mean, they're the ones there working day in and day out at that facility, right? Like they should be making those decisions. So, yeah, that's good. And that's how you grow more leaders, right? Is giving those responsibilities down. So,
I also think it's that top down, or well, they say bottom up, but Mihir, like we were talking earlier, people look to leaders to model
Yeah.
expectation. And I do think it's so important that you practice what you preach. And I will say that you absolutely, everything we've talked about today is not stuff I knew about you because you told me, but because I watch and people watch. And I do just appreciate that you practice what you preach. And I think that's a good model for just even where healthcare heads in the future and our leaders coming in and out of Sound, and our clinicians as well. So I just appreciate you for that.
Oh, thank you. I think um, uh, I have been told. I think it's super easy to tell the truth. So
Yeah.
You don't have to remember it.
Yeah.
you don't have to memorize. Yeah. So
That's true. All right. Well, thank you, Mihir, for joining us today. It was
Yeah,
great to have
absolutely.
you. And as always, thank you to our listeners for tuning in. And we would love to hear from you. If you have any suggestions on new topics you want to hear about or feedback for us, you can reach us at our email, which is oncallpodcast@soundphysicians.com. We're also on LinkedIn and Instagram at On Call with April and Alicia.
All right. Until the next time, you guys stay well and we'll stay on call.
Bye, everyone.
Have a good week, everybody.
I appreciate you. Thank you.